Hi, my name is Lisa Milady. I'm an elementary school guidance counselor. I've been one for 30 years. Before that, I was an elementary school teacher. I am the vice president for the New York State School Counselors Association, and I am a child's book author. I'm also a parent, and I've been a teacher. So I am so grateful for the PTA, the New York State Parent Teachers Association, for giving me the opportunity to talk about how important the team is while we are working with your child. So today I have a presentation for you called Parents, Teachers, and Counselors Working Together for the Needs of Your Child. I would like to thank all of you for tuning in, and my goal today is to share a framework that outlines the most effective ways to work as a team to help your child reach their potential. So let's all agree. We are all here for your child. Here is a Trinity, a parent, a teacher, and a counselor. And again, our focus is helping every child to succeed in school, academically, socially, emotionally. We want to see your child grow and to reach their highest potential. Now, as we begin this journey talking about working as a team, I think it's important to understand and reflect that children do behave differently in different places. A child has behaviors at home, a child has behaviors in the classroom, and a child, when they work with their counselor, can act differently in a small group or one-to-one. I find when parents and teachers or parents and counselors or even teachers and counselors get together and they talk about a child, they'll say, oh, why, they never do that at home, or I can't get my child to do that at school, and I can't get your child to do that at home, or in the small group they cooperate, or one-to-one they are absolutely able to talk out their feelings, but they can't talk about their feelings at home. So not only do children behave differently in different places, they do show different skills and different abilities. I want to remind you, it's not so much the person that the child is with, it is more so the environment. Being one-to-one with a school counselor is a marvelous treat for a child. They have a 100% attention to a person who is there engaging in one purpose and one purpose only, to help that child through whatever difficulty they're having. I've been a mom too. And I know when I sit one-to-one with my kids, or especially when they were little, it's not just one-to-one. It's one-to-one cooking dinner, one-to-one doing laundry, one-to-one getting homework done, even though it is a one-to-one moment. Being alone with a child at home is different from being alone with a child in a counseling center, a counseling setting, and also a classroom is different from home. A classroom has many children in it all at the same time. And if a child can sit quietly and finish their homework in 30 minutes at home, they may not be able to sit in 30 minutes and do their work in a classroom. It's not the people who they're with, it's the setting and the purpose and the goal. I say this because it's important that we all support each other. And as I move forward, I realize that some elementary schools may not have school counselors. So as I speak to counseling, I want you to think about maybe a school psychologist or a social worker. We're talking about the helping professionals that are in your school to help your child. And I am going to talk about elementary school because that's where I'm most comfortable, but I realize I may have some middle school and high school folks out there as well. So it's true, not just for young kids. What I speak about will be true for older kids as well. So remember, children do behave differently in different places. It's not because of who we are, it's because of the different place. Now, anyone from any of those places can recognize a need that a child has. It could be a parent who goes to school to say, I'm worried about this. It could be a school calling a parent to say, I have a concern about this. Every person has a right to speak to the helping people about things that they observe. And I have this set out, speak to what you observe, not character traits. Remember, my goal is to help us work effectively. When we talk about character traits, and I can cry. I really can cry because I hear parents who are frustrated and they'll use words like they just can't do it, or they're lazy, or they're manipulating. Those are words that are putting a character value on what you say. And I stop and listen, and I want to speak to the difficulty that parents are having, not the child. I want to speak about that the person, the child, I guess I am talking about the child, the person or the child is having difficulty, maybe completing homework, maybe getting ready to go to school on time, maybe being kind to their brothers and sisters or keeping their hands to themselves. It isn't that your child is aggressive. It is that your child is keeping their hands to the not keeping their hands to themselves. It's not that your child can't talk about how they feel, it's that they're crying. It's not that they're crying, it's that they are not being able to talk about how they feel. We have to really recognize what you observe and then develop a goal using words that reflect what you want to see. Very common. I would like to see my child be able to complete their homework at night independently by themselves. I would like my child to get ready for school on time. I would like my child to be excited to go to school. Those are home goals. And in a school, you might say, I would like to see your child complete this number of assignments. I would like to see your child raise their hand and ask for help when they're feeling frustrated. I would like to see your child play nicely with others and keep their hands to themselves. When you speak to what you are observing, we are recognizing the child has potential to grow, and we're not looking at a child that they have faults or they are lacking. What we're doing is we're recognizing something that hasn't happened yet. And when we work together, we can do amazing things for kids. Okay, I'm sorry. Wrong way. I apologize. Now, our goal always is to support children to grow. I say this again, and I'm saying it again, and I'm showing it one more time. Children need assistance in many different areas, and our goal when we come together is to look for growth. Not to make it easy for each other, not to make life, not to change things to make it easier for us as adults. As adults, we have to step up, and very often we have to be the ones to put in extra energy for the kids. That's not the child's fault. And actually in a school, that's what we do get paid for. We get paid to be professionals who bring out the best in your child. So don't ever be afraid to speak to the helping people about what you would like to see. We are here to support growth. And I want to take a minute to talk about the developmental skills that all children need. And again, when I talk about children, I am talking about kindergarten through high school, what we would like to see in our children for them to be adults who are active and giving to our society. We would like to see them be able to have healthy relationships. That means bonding with adults and peers. Kids do need social interaction. And I know it's very hard now when we're living in a world where many of us are behind screens, but kids do need time to interact with other kids, to learn turn taking, to learn patience, to learn empathy. And also, it is very important for kids to be able to trust adults. There are a lot of kids who have anxiety and phobias, and it is a true and real struggle for kids sometimes to come out of the house and go to school and have a productive school day because their anxiety is so great. So something children need to develop is an understanding that there are helping people and how to trust adults. As we smatter in stranger danger, we don't trust everybody, but it is important for us as human beings to develop healthy relationships. And as we look at children, it's important also to have healthy self-awareness. That means that kids need to feel loved, and kids also need to feel an important part of their home as well as an important part of their school. There is even a goal for the American School Counselors Association that every child in every school across America feels belonging to their school. When children feel belonging, they have greater chance to succeed in their academic goals. Also, kids also have to have a realistic idea that we are all learning and we all make mistakes and we learn every day, and there are challenges that we face every day. There is a wonderful word that I love. It is called yet. I haven't been able to do this yet. I haven't learned this yet. I haven't been able to do this, but I will be able to. That is a growth mindset, meaning that our brains do grow. We are not fixed with our intelligence. Our intelligence can grow when you put energy and practice and fidelity into doing anything well. You can. Also, we need children to learn control over their impulses and their emotions. This is really important for kindergartners coming in and in the elementary setting, but also for those teenagers and high school kids. Emotions are very strong and very powerful. And for some people, it sometimes seems that it is even more powerful than we may be able to understand. I can see there are children who have hurricanes in their heads, and they are learning to wrangle their feelings and to talk it out and to be able to control their emotions. And also for impulses. We all have to wait. Being a human being takes patience. So this is another developmental skill that kids learn to be patient and what to do when they have strong, powerful emotions. And the last one, of course, is to acquire knowledge and skills for independent living. We want kids to learn, and we want them to be ready to be on their own and to be productive adults. Kids need motivation from outside, but you also need intrinsic motivation to be able to get things done. Now, children, we are here, and I am here to talk to all of you about, helping kids do their best. And one important thing that we need to do when we are looking at kids doing their best, what behaviors are interfering with learning and how is it affecting their learning? Remember, a school counselor and a teacher are in an academic setting, and we service you to help your child to grow. When you look at the area of difficulty, then you'll be able to recognize who's going to be part of the team. Will it be somebody at home working directly with the teacher? Will it be somebody at home working directly with the counselor? Will it be the counselor and the teacher working together mostly and letting the parent know what's going on? Whenever a child is working on a goal, it is important for everybody to be aware of it. And sometimes it really is between the teacher and the parent. And perhaps a counselor just comes in to help fine-tune the goals and to really understand developmentally what a child can do. So when you look at the goal and you look at what's interfering with learning, then you'll have a good idea of who needs to be part of the team. And you need to know part of the team because you have to be able to develop and communicate a clear plan. Remember I said before, any helping person, a parent, a teacher, a counselor can say, I would like a meeting and I would like to come together to talk about the needs of my child. You are going to talk about the observed behaviors you see, and you're going to speak to what it is that you want to see. Be very clear. Where is it do you want to see this happen? Is it a home, a goal for home? Is it a goal for school? Is it a goal for recess? Is it a goal for friendships? Where is it that you would like to see your child grow? And when you know exactly where you want to see something happen, then you know what role every person has to play. This is where I give up your intelligence to coming up with the plan. Once you identify what you need to see and where it needs to be, and you're talking about who's going to do what, it's a whole nother presentation about creating behavior plans and implementing charts or things that motivate kids to make change. This program, what I'm talking about, are rules for us to work together effectively. Making the plan, I feel parents, teachers, and counselors all have the ability to do it. My goal is to say, do it together and do it clearly and communicate clearly. While I was putting all my thoughts together and thinking about this presentation, I came up with this acronym. Try, everything, agreed, mutually. Yeah, it stands for team. And I love the idea of try, everything, agreed, mutually. I don't want a parent to feel that they're home alone and they have to tackle this by themselves. I don't want a teacher to feel frustrated and maybe nervous to reach out to a parent and say, hey, let's try this. I want counselors to feel that their area of expertise can be used to help create a plan. And when you do meet together as a team, you have to decide what it is exactly you're going to do. Agreed mutually means I respect you, I respect the role that you're playing, and really don't go behind each other's backs. There's some rules to being a team player. I say that because we all need rules. We all need to know our expectations. It's important to respect everyone's area of expertise. A parent really, really knows a child more than any teacher or counselor ever would. They have spent their lifetime with this person and dedicated to their growth. So we as the school people have to really respect the parent. And as a parent, you have to respect we have been through this and we may have some tricks of the trade that we can share. So listen to each other with open minds. Uphold your part of the plan means if you as a parent are supposed to sign a book every day, do your best to do that. I know life gets hectic. And if you as a teacher are supposed to communicate daily at the end of the week, I know it gets hectic, but do your best to do it. I am so thrilled in my 30th year of counseling that we have technology that I can shoot a text through Parent Square and I can be sitting waiting to leave or on my kitchen table and I can communicate instantaneously. We really live in a great time where we can communicate effectively. And also, upholding your part of the plan means that you're not going to try something on your own. Let's say that the team agrees that your child is to do 30 minutes of work and then you're turning off the timer and signing the completed work for the teacher to see. Because you may be frustrated that your child did not do as much as you wanted them to do, you may decide that I'm just going to make that child sit down until they finish. Where the team might have told you, we don't want it to be a chore, we want your child to do their best, and we need to see how much your child is doing independently. If you go against that plan, then it really hurts us when we're trying to understand your child's needs. Also, if you take a child to a doctor, understand that we are professionals and we understand the HIPAA laws and you have a right to privacy, yet sharing if your child goes on medication, sharing if your child is having an evaluation, we will show respect for your privacy, for your child, and for you. But again, these are things and information to share. And if a teacher and a counselor agree on something, I've actually had the experience where we sat as a team and we walked out and the teacher said, I don't agree, I'm not going to do it. And I was a little frustrated because in that moment when we were making the plan, that was the time to say, I think this is good, I think this is not good. I think this will work, I don't think this would work. We are here to talk about a plan to put in place and make it work. So while you are together making a plan, always say exactly how you feel, exactly what worries you, what you can embrace, and agree upon what you are going to do. I also put have gratitude for each other because that helps your child in the long run. When your child knows that parents and teachers are friends, when parents and counselors are friends, when teachers and counselors are friends, and it doesn't mean we go out for coffee, it means that we are communicating and we are feeling positive toward each other and we are able to work together for the best of your child. That also means we're able to speak to each other when there might be a truth that may be different from one place to another. And when adults come together and talk, it really helps get to the whole middle of a problem. Kids are magnificent at shining one side of the story and shining another side of the story. And sometimes it takes the adults to come together to get really what's going on. So respect each other and respect the roles that we do play. I want to remind everyone, need does not equal struggle. Do you have to work hard? Absolutely. Are some kids more difficult than others? Absolutely. Is it a struggle? It's a job. It's a calling. It's purposeful. Struggle means that you are feeling as if it can't be done and it won't be done. Struggle is a word that means it's impossible. Where I'm here to remind you, all things are possible. And when we make a plan, communicate, be true to the plan, have gratitude for each other, things do get done. And my last thought was drama deflects from focus. There's a lot of frustration that comes when children don't do their best. There's a lot of frustration that comes when parents have kids that may not be performing to what they know that they can do or what they hope that they can do. And teachers, we always have to show our professionalism, when it comes to moving a child forward and through. Staying calm, having hope, having gratitude, having an understanding that we all have potential and we need to move toward that potential takes away from the drama. It's not us against them. It's not them against us. It is us working together, and together we have strength. Some more helpful hints for you. When you're working with a child and when you're creating goals, remember, start small. Nothing succeeds like success. When you make a plan that can be achieved within a short amount of time. I don't want to make a plan. If they're good until Christmas, I'm going to take them to Disney World. That plan is too long. We need to really start small, because it's like priming a pump. You want a child to have those baby steps, build up their confidence, and then be able to move forward. So when you make a plan together, don't try to paint the Mona Lisa overnight. Give yourself time and allow a child to feel success first. Focus on what a child can do and then move up from there. Whenever you make a plan, start with, you know what, they can bring home their backpack every day. And after that, maybe they can put their folder in their backpack. After we acknowledge that they can do this 1 and 2, we're going to focus on what a child can do. And remember, what one child can do is different from what another child can do. And it's important not to compare, but to focus on strengths. Accept the challenge while you're going through this of understanding of what can be controlled versus what cannot be controlled. This is something that I always struggle with. Is a child not doing something because they choose not to do it? Or is it innately and organically not possible for that child to do what you want them to do? There are neurologically, children's synapses are different. And it's important to try one intervention, and if it's not working, open your eyes to perhaps they can't control that piece and we need to do something different. While you're going through a time where you want your child to change, be patient. Be patient and speak to, okay, here's the plan. We're going to put it in place for this long, and don't give up hope. And remember, it is normal to start with a plan, and then that plan changes, and then that plan changes, and then that plan even changes. As we look at a behavior and start with an understanding, then maybe we have this much more understanding. And then once you have this much more understanding, you might have this much more understanding. A child is like an onion. There are many different layers, and you start with one layer, and once you take care of that, you may be unfolding another layer. That's why you have to be patient, and you have to understand that while children are developing, you may have to change things along the way. Oh, I love this. I played with hearts. I love hearts. Growth is different for every child. One plan that works for one child may not work for another child. And it is absolutely typical for a child to not grow, not grow, and not grow. And then all of a sudden, they have a big growth spurt. This is a typical growth pattern. And then these are the kids that are really challenging. They're doing great, and then they're not doing well. And then they're doing great, and then they're not doing well. And then they're doing great, and you know what's going to happen next. Growth is different for every child. Every child in a classroom, every child within a family. It's important to understand that they are all different. And while we go through this process of all of us, parent, teacher, and counselor, I want us all to remember the child who is in the middle. It's important to laugh and celebrate and really show love for each other. We all will, if you laugh and celebrate and love together for the sake of your child, that is the best way to start seeing growth and to help kids reach their potential. I really hope that the framework that I gave you some tips and understanding that we all work together for the best of your child. And each and every one of you, whether you are a parent or a counselor or whether you are a teacher, it is so important to believe in potential and possibilities. I am so proud to live in a time and to work in a time where growth mindset teaches us that our potential is endless. And when we put our mind towards things, we can do great things. That is true for us as parents and teachers and counselors, and it is very true for the children that we love. I want to thank you for listening and thank you for taking the time out to listen to my presentation. I am Lisa Milady. If you have any thoughts or concerns, this is where you can reach me, lmilady@optonline.net. I wish you all peace and happiness and love as you are going through this world. Thank you again to the PTA for this opportunity. There is no greater Trinity for children than parents, teachers, and counselors. Have a really great day. I wish you well.